let me just say a few things about Iran before I end. I think the biggest task, or one of the biggest tasks of the peace community is to humanize communities that become targets of war. Somehow, when this opportunity occurs, they are turned into faceless, nameless threats. Well, that's not what Iran is. Iran has many, many strong voices, beautiful voices, as Medea beautifully mentioned herself. So, what can we do? Flood the internet with images of Iran, images of normalcy, buildings, people on the streets, sitting on benches in parks, just ordinary people, and remind everyone that the only time that normalcy is interrupted is when there is an external threat. When the external threat happens, either they are feeling threatened by the outside, or the internal extremist voice gets stronger and stronger. So normalcy is there if we let it continue and be there. And then it's just a few simple facts. Did you know that in Iran, between the age of 15 and 25, the rate of illiteracy is 0? Did you know that if we took all ages together, the rate of literacy is over 90%? And this is a resilient people who have lived under threat of war. And I don't actually need to remind you, every option has been on the table, including a threat of a nuclear attack on Iran and sanction after sanction. This is what people have achieved under that kind of pressure. University students are about 70% women, and yes, in all fields, including science and engineering and medicine, every field you can think of. Nanotechnology is advanced, and no, it is not military technology. Probably has a military branch, but we know about a lot of nanotechnology specialists in food industries and in various other aspects of science. In Iran, stem cell research has never been forbidden, and it is actually quite advanced. There has never been a need to convince people that it's okay to do stem cell research. Medical technology is highly advanced, particularly because the Iran-Iraq war left a lot of injured people, and Iranian doctors, under the most difficult conditions of lack of medicine, operate on the most difficult cases. Did you know that Iran has a book fair once a year? Do you know how many people come to that book fair? Just give me a number. 2 million. 2 million people. Actually, last year it was 2.2 million. And if you want to go in there, you have to line up there to go. And no, it's not just propaganda books of the government. A lot of publishers, about 80 of them, come from across the world, including the United States. Iranian cinema, I don't need to introduce it. You have seen movies because they finally had some Oscars and we got to open the market here on them. And you know, I have a student who does research on Iranian theater, and last summer she went to Iran to collect the printed scripts of plays in Iran for the past 2.5 years. Do you know how many plays she collected? 435. These were printed plays. Theater is so advanced, and it's the voice of people. I'm not claiming that Iran is heaven and they're happy with everything, but they are a resilient people who are using 1 million different ways to express themselves and to be a part of the world, and the last thing they need is a war. So, on that note, let me thank you again for being here, and please remember, flood the internet with images of normal life in Iran and in Iraq. Let their faces be seen and voices be heard. Thank you so much.